last 5 minutes, please let us know from heart what you feel. Whether persons are important or people are important in a system, in a defined system. Or no reservations of such conversations. So you can start your version. Because the first part is on debating skills and your presentation skills. Now let's move on.
In an organization, persons who will follow the processes and who will get the results, those are all important. It doesn't mean that suppose there are two companies, I would like to say an example, some TCS as well as some Reliance companies. And if you see Reliance companies, they never mind that what are the things we are going to do in the middle, they will see ultimately what is the result. Okay, they will only think about the result. If you do the result, that is sufficient. What they are going to do, it is not important. That is like a server. So it is just like a server. And the second one is where they have been gone to 4 arguments. Second thing is teachers, each and every step there should be some processes will be there. So we should have to follow the process. Whether the ultimate result we are going to get it or not, it is different. But you definitely, if you follow the process, definitely 80 to 90% you will get the result. But on a system, first of all, the persons who are, because already some experts have been already defined the process, it is better to take these processes and coming to practice and use the human brain to use exactly the appropriate situation at which process it is there. So both are important.
It's always a part of the process because
what I feel about this is both process and people are very important for an industry to grow and establish. So it is both responsibility of the process to give direction to the people, what they need to do, how they need to do, and to tell them where they are. And it is also responsibility of the people to follow, adhere to the process and to show and improve the process, contribute towards improving the process. Process alone by itself cannot improve. People have to again contribute to the improvement. So people have to follow the process, whatever is defined, and also contribute towards improving that particular process. So until and unless the process doesn't give historical data or the past performances to the people who are coming and working on that particular area, in that particular area, would not know or would not get a direction where they have to go. So it is the responsibility of this process to share that information with the people, and it is again the people who have to work on these particular things and take the whole thing to the next level. So it is all taking it to the next level. So processes will take people to the next level, people will take the processes to the next level. So it is a very good handshake for both of them, and they have to go hand in hand for the best performance of the company. That is what I feel.
So before the mic pass on, I mean, if I have to reiterate what Mr. Bobby said, if you have to really say from your heart, what is more important from two? What you as an individual feel? People are more important or processes? Fine, I understood.
You said, yeah. But it depends. See, it is like, because now we are in this particular industry, working in such an industry, processes are very, very important.
Okay.
To have process is very, very important.
What is more important, process or people?
Process is more important. That is what I am saying, because people, we can train them. As and when people are coming, you can train the people and ask them to follow the particular process. But if processes are only not in place, we cannot really have control on the situation.
Okay.
So that is what I feel. Very, very important are the processes, and people, yes, without people there is no organization. Every organization will exist. There are people in the organization. Every organization will run. But if you want to improve over a period of time, get established over a period of time, and grow over a period of time, the same people will not be sticking to the organization every time. And so, the historical information to take the step forward, you need to look back and see what it is. And what I feel is these processes which will give the information. And the standards are very well established. We've been reading a lot of standards that have been published, and they are also universally acceptable standards. So it becomes very easy for people to work in such kind of industries across the globe. That that also is an added benefit when you look at why processes are very, very.
Yeah, there are two sides. Having a good practice, well, and good implementing. The second one is implementing that effectively.
Yes.
In that point, what do you feel?
Implementation, role of people for implementing
as long as you can't implement
yes.
best practice effectively in your system.
Correct.
So
you can't get the results.
Correct.
Yes.
Then what is the role of people?
Role of people is to implement. So again, when we are talking about the process will give you lots of other particular things. It says you can bring in certain tools to help people do their work. Say some person is not able to implement. So process is again a guideline to find out which area is the pain point for people. It is again the process which will help us find out what are the pain points for people for not practicing the process. And then you start addressing those particular pain points. And so maybe the company might want to bring in tools into the picture so that it will make easy for the people to implement it. So make those things. Today, things are available. We have that particular luxury. A lot of things are available. So we can bring those particular things in place and make them practice, make them implement. So today, the process also says, say suppose I have a team of 20 people. Out of that, say 10 people are willing to follow the process, 10 people are not willing to follow the process. I would train them, tell them these are the benefits that you get out of following a process of whatever it is. Over a period of time, maybe 5 people will change, but 5 people are not changing. Will I take the burden of these 5 people along with me when my objective is to grow? I might say, no, I want to leave them back. I'll take another new people of 5 people if I require for my team. I will train them and put them into that particular thing. But without the processes in place, I would not be able to grow to that particular level, or that kind of a vision what I have in mind might not be achievable if this is not in place. That is strongly what I feel. And whatever I have worked on also till today, the kind of processes, the kind of industry standards, they bring in a lot of experience. That rich experience is what is brought in through these particular processes, and it is brought and put in front of us as if food is served in a plate. So it is for us to take it and to implement it and to get the benefit out of it. That's good. Thank you.
Yeah, it's well said. And as we have discussed, I would like to bring on that process part. One of the key attributes of the process is the buy-in. Buy-in from the people. Okay. So if there is no buy-in from the people who is going to execute these processes, the result would be quite dubious. We won't be assured that we are going to get the proper result. For example, that's the reason process is always defined by the people for the people. Okay, there is no process existing in the system which is not user friendly, which is not being known by the people who is going to execute those things. Okay, so people is also again important for that, because people, human minds only, it's that they're going to document the process, who's going to define the processes in such a way like they understand each and every steps and activities what they are defined the process, and based on the time they are going to evaluate these processes, and they have to see that how we are performing. If there is any new advancement is required in the processes, in the existing process, they are going to refine it. They are going to redefine it. So buy-in is more important here, and the more important is when we are we can't call a guy who's going to write a process for us. For example, we are bringing on a development project and we want a process for us to write for us. There's no other third party can come and who can write the process for us. So it is our own duty that we have to write the process based on the work we are going to perform, based on the result what we have to achieve, based on the availability what we have. So based on those things, we have to think on the lines of planning, doing, checking and implementing it, and based on these surrounding areas, we have to define the process and we have to come up with the defined thing like what we are going to adhere to in order to deliver the right product to the right in the right way at the right time. Okay, so that's the key thing, and here people plays a vital role definitely, but we are not dependent on the people only, because people comes and goes. Okay, so there are people who is agreeing to follow the things, there are people who is not agreeing to follow the things. So now based on, as one of my friends rightly mentioned, Like we have trained some 10 people, out of 10 people, 5 people has come up and 5 people are not willing to come up. So now we can take a call on that. Okay, fine, 5 people are okay, but 5 people still need some sort of mentoring and training. We'll do the training as per the process demands, and then we'll see that whether they are coming up or not. That means in that case the process is it's defined, well defined in time and well executed in time, and we know the way to measure the process, we know the metrics how to we can judge on the processes part, and then we can take a call and we can execute it going on.
Actually 2 minutes for all of you. All of you. See, we talk about processes, we talk about people. So what do you feel change management in this context? How effective it would be as a person for you, like a project manager, quality person, in your system?
Change management.
Only 2 minutes. But
Yeah, change is a kind of part of life. There's nothing rigidity in the life. Okay, now coming to the system point, there's always be change. Like change can happen from our own way of working. It can happen from the client side. It can happen on the technology side. It can happen from the cost side. Okay. Now this change management again has some life cycle. Okay. So we can't do change and we can roll out to the final phase. We can't do that. Okay. So for doing any change, we need to have the buy-in from the users. Like, are they ready to for the change? Okay. Now what is the value of it? Are we really requiring it, or we have to do some sort of pilot? Okay, based on these activities, we can do the changes in the processes and we can come up with the thing. And at the same time, we can't say that we are not going to change. So because change is a kind of part of life which we have to follow, and based on this impact analysis, based on this pilot run up, we have to take the call on the final implementation of the change.
you need to say if 5 out of 10 people are not ready to change, you're going to change the process.
Not ready to say, but there will be some concrete thing like why they are not ready for the change. We have to see in such a way like this change is impacting in what terms. Is it really required? First of all. Next, we have to see that how we are going to execute in the change process model. Are we going to get success on that? Now, to assure this success, we need to do some sort of pilot. Pilot, like we are implementing the change, but in a very limited way. And based on those sampling, we are going to take the call like whether we will be going for the change or not. So we have to decide on that lines.
So, I would like to get a clarification on the question: is change management in this particular per se what we are talking about? Whether changes to the process are acceptable by the people, or people are ready to change for the processes in that particular context?
Yes. Then how do you feel effectiveness in change management in this particular scenario? So you give an example 10 and 5.
Yeah. Okay. That. Right. So, see, what is the objective here? The objective is 100% compliance or following of the process. Everybody needs to follow the process to get the end result. That is the main objective here. So if the people, so what do we do here? We have to keep continuously monitoring. Managing is nothing but monitoring, controlling kind of a thing, right? So here, when people are not ready to accept the change in the process or the improvements in the process, whatever has been defined, if people are not ready to implement, during the